What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kraken Hunters. I'm Carolina H1tman, and today I'll be going over my top 10 movies of 2017. And what I mean by my top 10, I know it's almost next to impossible to see every single movie that's come out this year. So for me, it's out of the movies that I've seen this year, these are my top 10. I hope you enjoy the countdown. Hope you agree with my picks. Without further ado, let's begin. Coming in at number 10 is SpiderMan Homecoming. I really enjoyed this version of Spider-Man. I thought Tom Holland did an excellent job portraying a good Peter Parker and a good Spider-Man. And that was one of my issues that I had with the previous versions of Spider-Man, the ones with Tobey Maguire. I thought Tobey portrayed an excellent Peter Parker, but a horrible Spider-Man. And the ones with Andrew Garfield, I thought he portrayed an excellent Spider-Man, but a horrible Peter Parker. And I think Tom Holland got the balance perfect in this version of Spider-Man. I also enjoy Michael Keaton as the Vulture in this movie as well. That's been one of Marvel Cinematic Universe's main downfalls, is the lack of quality villains. And I'm glad to see Michael Keaton step up to the plate and really portray a really good villain with a human factor thrown in there. I thought he did an excellent job. I enjoyed all the supporting cast. The only nitpick I have is Eddie Brock. I didn't think that the versions they had in this film really fit with the version that eventually becomes Venom, which I don't know if that's going to happen in the cinematic universe or not. I hope it does, but I would like to see them get a more of a jock to play Eddie Brock. That's just my opinion, but I really enjoyed this version, and I hope to see them continue to do a good job. On with number 9. Coming in at number 9 is Blade Runner 2049. This, for me, was an excellent continuation of the original Blade Runner. The cinematography, the visuals, I mean, they were amazing. I really wish I could meet the cinematographer in person and really see how he did all these visuals, because they were amazing. It was nice to see Harrison Ford back as Rick Deckard. That was a little piece of the movie I really enjoyed, especially being such a fan of the original Blade Runner. I think Ryan Gosling did an excellent job as Officer K. I even really thought that Dave Bautista, I really enjoyed his character. And for me, it's nice to see him stretch out his overall acting. I'm glad to see him play other parts besides Drax the Destroyer from Guardians of the Galaxy. I really enjoy seeing him branch out in his range as an actor. So that was a plus for me as well. If you have not seen this, it is a slower paced movie. It's nothing, no big action scenes and all these other things popping out. This is a very slow paced movie. But if you appreciate movies like that with really good stories and really good visuals and good acting, I really think you should check this one out. So Blade Runner 2049 is my number 9. Coming in at number 8 is Wonder Woman. If anyone who knows me, they know I've been very critical of the DC cinematic universe. I think it's been rushed. I think there's a lot of writer issues and director issues, but I went into Wonder Woman hoping for the best, and I'm glad I was rewarded for that. I really think Gal Gadot did a really excellent job portraying Wonder Woman. I was a little worried when I first found out that she was actually going to be the one to be Wonder Woman, because I didn't think she had the physique to really portray an Amazon, but I'm glad I was proven wrong. Chris Pines as Steve Trevor, I thought he did an excellent job. I love the repertoire between him and Gal Gadot. Every time they were on screen together, it was always a little bit of comedy, but I really enjoyed that. The only downside to this movie was a weak villain. I couldn't really see the guy who played Ares. It just didn't fit for me. I mean, I don't know what it was. It's his mustache is what it was. I'll be honest, his mustache. I couldn't believe Ares had a mustache like that. That's just me. But I really thought this was an excellent movie, and it really gave me hope going forward for the DC extended universe. I hope they continue building on this success, and I think they did. As far as the Justice League, I know there were some complaints. I really enjoyed it, and I thought she did a good job in that as well. But Gal Gadot did an excellent job as Wonder Woman, and that is my number 8 pick. Coming in at number 7 is 2017's version of It. Now, I know a lot of diehard fans of the book will complain about this movie, as my sister in our review together, she didn't really like it because it wasn't as close to the book as she thought it should be. But I thought this was an excellent movie. Especially, I thought they improved on the miniseries in every single way. I thought Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise is just, I won't say as good as Tim Curry's version, but I thought he did a good job in his own right. The cast of all the kids, I will say this, I don't know where they got those kids from, but it seemed like they've been acting for 20 years. Each one of them brought something to this movie. I won't go over all the actors' names because I have them right here in front of me, because there's a lot of them, but I really thought each one of those kids brought something to this movie. Their camaraderie is what really brought this home for me as a superior version to the original miniseries. Every one of the scenes with Pennywise on it, I don't think they were terrifying, but it was scary, in my opinion. And because I'm not scared of clowns. I mean, Pennywise does nothing for me, but I thought they did a good job. They didn't put too many jump scares in there. My only complaint, and I think the complaint of other people, was that there was a little bit too much comedy. But at the same time, I understand at that time period that they were going for, and all those kids together, that's exactly how kids will act with one another. I mean, I don't care what anyone says. That's how it should have been. Those kids interacting with each other, that made that movie for me, and that's how it should have been. So I really hope the second version is as good as this version was. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed and hoping against hopes that that movie is just as good as this one. So It is my number 7 pick. Coming in at number 6 is Logan. This was Hugh Jackman's swan song as far as the X-Men movies. I know we've had to deal with a lot of mediocre to garbage X-Men movies over the year, and Wolverine movies, but this movie to me was just amazing. Not even as a comic book movie, but as a movie in general. I thought they did an amazing job portraying the drama that an older Wolverine would go through. I really enjoyed Daphne Keane as X-23. I thought she brought that ferocity to forefront. She did a really good job portraying such a ferocious character that X-23 was. It was nice to see Patrick Stewart back as an older, I mean, he's looked like he's been old for 20 years, but an older Professor X. And it seems like he's starting to get Alzheimer's, and he's losing, and that's what it seemed like to me. And it's affecting his powers, and that's why they keep him in that bunker. But I thought they did an amazing job. The only thing, again, was the lackluster villains. I wish they could have had some better villains for Wolverine and X-23, but overall, I thought this movie was probably my easily top three comic book movie that's ever been made. I mean, it was that good for me. And I don't care what, ladies, any man who's seen that ending, it almost made us tear up. As a man, he may not admit it, your boyfriend, husband, whatever, he may not admit it, but that ending almost made him tear up. If it didn't make him tear up, it's because he was fighting back those tears. But that's my number 6 pick, and I really stick with it, and it was an amazing movie. Coming in at number 5 is War for the Planet of the Apes. I'll start out with saying this. I don't see how Andy Serkis has not won an Oscar for this portrayal of Caesar since the very beginning of these movies. excuse me, his motion capture should be the standard for anyone who's wanting to do motion capture in this business. He's portrayed Caesar with so much emotion, and the amazing thing, it's not really him on screen. It's a computer generated ape. And Andy Serkis does such an amazing job portraying emotion through CGI. And I mean, the CGI is top notch. For me, it was awesome to see Caesar progress from the very beginning, the dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and just from the very start to now. It was just amazing. And I hope he earns an Oscar one day for his motion capture performances. I hope they put a category in there just so he could win one, because he really deserves it. It's just amazing to me that he hasn't won one yet. But I think Woody Harrelson was a really good villain in this movie, because honestly, if you really think about it, Woody Harrelson's character really is us. Because if we're on the verge of extinction, we would do anything to preserve our survival. And I thought Woody Harrelson brought that forward. I mean, he did an amazing job as the villain in this movie. But it's just been an amazing journey from the very first Ape movie till now. And I've enjoyed every single movie that's come out. And this movie really sent it off perfectly. To me, it was, I know it's not a action-packed movie. It's another slow-paced movie. It's a lot of ape sign language, but I really enjoyed it. And for me, that's why it's my number 5 pick. Coming in at number 4 is WinDriver. I just happened to just stumble upon this movie one day, just me and my fiance. We just decided to just watch it. We bought it, hoping it would be good. And let me say this, I was not disappointed. Jeremy Renner was amazing in this movie. Elizabeth Olsen as well. When it first starts out, you're not exactly sure where it's going. And then when an event happens, because like I said, I don't want to put any spoilers in here, but then when something happens and the mystery starts taking hold of you, it never lets go. And you're wondering what's going on. How is this going to unfold? And I thought they both, Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen, did an amazing job bringing this story on, helping it unfold in a believable way. We even have John Barenthal in there, even though he's only in it for maybe about 10 minutes, but his part plays a significant part in this mystery. And the ending, I won't say the very ending, but about maybe 5 to 10 minutes before the actual ending, that ending is what I'm talking about. It hits you home, and you're like, oh, you get to see someone get their comeuppance, and it's amazing. This movie, from beginning to end, it held me and it did not let go, especially once that mystery starts taking hold of you. It will not release you. It stays with you. And the ending, man, I cannot speak highly of it. It's gut wrenching when you see what happens. But if you have an opportunity, please check this out, especially if you like drama/mysteries. Please do yourself a favor and check this out. You will not regret it. And that's why it's my number 4 pick. Coming in at number 3 is John Wick 2. Let me say this, I love the first movie, without a doubt. For me, that is the only other movie, an American-made action movie, that holds me as much as The Raid. And I'll talk about that movie some other time. But as far as American action movies, this is the pinnacle for me. Keanu Reeves does a really good job in this one. And the reason why I like the second one more than the first one is because it actually goes a little more in depth to the assassin society, their rules and things like that. And it really puts that to the forefront in this movie. And I like knowing a lot more about their society as a whole. And I actually would like to learn more about it. I hope they do a TV series or something and really focus on that assassin society and that hotel. But I thought they did a really good job. Common actually did a pretty good job in his action scenes and his acting. it's good to see him come up a little bit more, from the previous movies he's done. He's been an all right actor, and I thought he did a really good job in this one, especially in his action scenes fighting against Keanu Reeves. It's amazing to see Keanu Reeves' gunplay. I don't know if many of you seen the videos on YouTube or Facebook or anything where it shows him going through competitions, and because he knows how to handle these weapons. I mean, he really knows how to, man, it's amazing. And if you have a chance to see that, try to look up that, because it shows you how much he knows about these weapons, how much time he spends practicing and going to competitions. And he really knows what he's doing with these guns. And I really like the characters. Even the deaf girl, I can't remember her name. She was on Orange is the New Black, I think the 3rd season. But she did a really good job. But this movie improved on the second one in every way. The only nitpick, the only small complaint I had is that I think some of the action scenes, you could tell they were a little too choreographed. They weren't as natural, as fluid as the first movie, but I still think they were done really well. But if you haven't seen John Wick 2 yet, do yourself a favor and check out this amazing action movie. That's why it's my number 3 pick. Coming in at number 2 is Get Out. I can't sing enough praises for this movie. With this being Jordan Peele's directorial debut, I don't see how you could have done a more perfect movie. I mean, it was an amazing horror movie with a lot of subliminal messages in there. I won't go into detail about all of them. I leave that up to you to look up. But for this being his first movie, man, I mean, I've known a lot of horror directors who still struggle to make good movies well into their 2nd, 3rd, and 4th movie, and his directorial debut was this good. It really gives me high hopes to see what he does in the future. I mean, it was really that good. Daniel Kaluuya, I can't pronounce his name, I think it's Daniel Kaluuya. We'll go with that. I really enjoyed his character. I'm really glad to see him being in more movies. He was in Sicario, which was my favorite movie of the year it came out. I'm glad to see him being in more roles, getting a little bit more notice in his career. But this is a slow burner. I mean, in the very beginning, it starts out a little slow, but once it hits, it's got you. And I really hope as a horror fan, you've done yourself a favor and check this movie out. Even if you're not really into all the subliminal messages and maybe some of the political messages that's in there, I still say you owe it to yourself as a horror fan to check this out to see what a capable director can do with this simple premise. So it's my number 2. Do yourself a favor and check it out. And here we've arrived at my number 1 pick for the year. This was my favorite movie, and I don't even know why. It just caught me as soon as I saw it, and that's Baby Driver. The first 10 minutes of this movie sets the tone for the rest of this movie. Man, it had a lot of good characters in it. Jamie Foxx, Kevin Spacey, John Hamm, and I think it's Angel Elgort. I can't really pronounce his name. I think that's what it is, as Baby. Man, the way they use music in this movie is just, and I'm a music fan, and to see them integrate music into key scenes in each and every, in this movie, it's amazing how they did that. Even this isn't giving any spoilers away, but in the very beginning, after the initial 10 minutes, then the credits start coming in, and you start to see as the music's playing, you see the words of the music on certain lines of the music scribbled on the walls, and certain, like it could be in graffiti or a storefront billboard or something like that. And it's amazing how they just integrated music into this movie so well. I mean, I was impressed. The car scenes, man, I'm gonna tell you, if there is a driver like that, I want to be trained by him. But this was an amazing movie from start to finish. It gets a little slow, and I'd say about the middle point when you're starting to really learn a little bit more about Baby and the situation that he's in. but man, it caught my attention and did not let go from start to finish. So if you have an opportunity, please please pick up Baby Driver. I don't think you'll regret it, especially if you're a fan of car chases and cars in general and music. Please do yourself a favor and check this movie out. And I can't speak enough high praises up for it. But everybody, that's it. That's my 10 picks for the year. I hope you've agreed with them. I hope you enjoyed it. In the comments section, let me know what's been your favorite movies of the year, and whether or not you agree with my picks or not. Just let me know. But I really hope you enjoyed this top 10 pick for 2017. I hope to see y'all guys soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check me out on Twitter and Facebook. But this is Carolina Hitman, of course, of Kraken Hunters. And this is me signing off. See y'all next time.